Hey y'all. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It's Dr. Wright. I thought I'd have you guys keep me company while I do a couple of things about some fashion rings. And so while they are not real gold, I am going to coat them with a clear coat so that they'll stay nice while I wear them. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint my own nails because I haven't done that in a while. And we can talk about shows and we can talk about crowdfunding. I just posted a post about John Amos and crowdfunding. John Amos is the dad from an old 70s TV show called Good Times. And it was when you first started seeing, black families on TV. And he is, beloved. People, really love his character, love him as an actor. He's much older now. I don't know if actors ever really retire, so I don't know if we can say he's retired. But, obviously he's not out there like, Arnold Schwarzenegger or, the rest of those dudes. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, he's not out there like that. But you see him every once in a while. No big deal. Well, thank you for following me, Daryl. I've seen him on TikTok with his son, doing TikToks with his son. And recently, his daughter has been raising money for him on GoFundMe. Let me know if any of you have seen this. Thank you, Jasper, for following me. Let me know if any of you guys have seen this. Jasper, their name's not Jasper. His daughter has been raising money. Her goal on GoFundMe is to raise $500,000 for him, saying that he's the victim of elder abuse and that he needs money and he has no money to live. He says he's good. He's got a little money pot stashed away. I mean, he's not, super duper crazy rich. He's not crazy money rich. He's not Amazon money rich, but he's not in the poorhouse and he's not in need of a GoFundMe. So I don't know what the real story is. So I didn't put it up for you guys to go give to his GoFundMe. I'm just saying, before you give to any GoFundMe, is do your research. Do your research and find out to the best you can actually what is going on. I hadn't heard any indications that he was under any kind of abuse or misuse or anything. She's raised $12,000. But I also need for you guys to be aware of how crowdfunding works, because a lot of you guys are not aware of how it works and the little loopholes that are in crowdfunding. So here's the thing about crowdfunding that you may not be aware of, but whoever starts the crowdfunding, that is who the money is actually going to go to. And this is what I mean. It's very interesting. Yes, April. If you start the crowdfunding, April, for me, you tell everybody, Dr. Wright, she needs to get her teeth fixed or whatever it is you say, right? And you're raising money for me and you do the fundraising, the money will go to you. And the actual reality is, this is the actual reality, y'all. The actual reality is The money will go into your account. And whether or not you actually ever send it to me is, questionable. I thought I bought 5 rings, but I guess I only bought 4. Because only 4 came in this bag. It's questionable. In other words, what I am saying is, somebody can raise money for you, put that money in their pocket and walk away, and people have. People have before. So the feedback is that he's doing fine and does not need that. It's her saying that he is in need. I don't know what to believe. Now, it would take him simply calling GoFundMe and saying, hey, don't be raising no money on my behalf saying I need money, because I don't. If Dad says he doesn't need it and she started it, it's highly suspicious. Absolutely, it is highly suspicious. It's very suspicious. So I don't know if people are going to call GoFundMe or say, hey, GoFundMe, look into that. This is what I'm doing out of sight that you guys can't see. I bought some costume jewelry, just some fun jewelry. Because I'm like, I want to have rings. But I don't want them to turn green on my fingers, so I'm painting them so I don't get that look. And I thought I'd make you keep me company while I do it. Yes, Dr. Wright likes real jewelry, and I like cheap jewelry too. Anywho, enough about me, more about you. But you guys have to be careful. This is exactly why I don't do personal crowdfunding. People, believe me, people are on here every day talking about they're starving, their eyeballs are about to fall out, they gotta have some help right now or it's all over. People call me with that all the time. I can't verify that. I don't want to spend time trying to figure out if these people are telling the truth. And am I helping somebody who's just a swindler, swindle y'all out of money? Is that what I'm doing when I'm giving attention to things like this? Joyce says, you look like you are thriving and living your best life. I am. I'm just having fun, just having some fun. So the thing is that, so I don't know. So I'm not saying he doesn't need the money. I'm not saying he does need the money. I'm just saying I don't know. And that before you guys give to any kind of crowdfunding like that, find a way to do your research. These crowdfunding sites don't do the research for you. They act like they care. They don't. It's money coming in for them. That's all they're worried about. Is the money coming in? Oh, good. Now, maybe there'll be enough stink stirred up that they will take some time and look into it. But many times they do not. Thank you for the likes, and thank you, Gloria Hackman, for the follow. But many times they do not. So you have to be, just like you would do your homework if it was a business investment crowdfunding, you wouldn't just hand anybody a check and go, oh yeah, they're good people. Yeah, I'm going to follow them. You wouldn't do that if it was your money for a business thing. But people do that when it's something where they're trying to quote unquote help somebody. People do that all the time. And it's like, you just cannot do that. You cannot do that. And, I hate to see it. He's on here with his son all the time. All the posts he have. Thank you, April, for following me. All the posts he has, April, I see him with his son, and he seems to be clean and healthy and happy. He doesn't look hungry. He doesn't look thin. He does not look ill. Everything that I've seen, he looks fine. So I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, this is precisely why I don't like doing personal crowdfunding. Because I don't want to be a part of something that wound up swindling some people. So when you look at the post, please go ahead and put your comments in, what you think, what could be done. But the rules of the crowdfunding game are whoever started the crowdfunding, that's who the money goes to. That's just how it is. So it's not like that check is going to automatically go to John Amos. It's going to go to the person who started the GoFundMe. The check is going to go into her bank account. The money's going into her bank account. And if she feels like it, she can give it to her dad. So I just don't know what, people are thinking about and what they're trying to do and, why they want to do it, because it's just theft. It's just really, theft. Misrepresentation, stealing. Crowdfunding is still the wild, wild west in a lot of ways. You do have to be watchful. You do have to be careful. People are out there trying to crowdfund over stuff that doesn't even make any sense. I remember when I first started crowdfunding, there were people out there teaching crowdfunding and saying, hey, pay your rent next month with crowdfunding. Well, yeah, I guess you could, but, it's a little bit of a waste. April says it's pretty big news story at this point. So I'm sure some news agency or reporter will get to the truth. Yeah, I hope so. I hope somebody cares enough to really get to the truth. Trying to figure out which one of these I want to use. They're both pink, but I think I'm going to go for this one. So it's I don't know. It's very interesting. It's very, very sad. If she's doing this just for her, that's super sad. Just super sad. Because he looks like he's doing all right. I talked with someone who is a very, very well-known star. And he talked to me for months about doing this crowdfunding. And he wanted me to do the crowdfunding. And I told him what the pricing was. And we talked on and off for months and months and months. And probably almost a year. And I looked online and there was some woman crowdfunding for him on GoFundMe. And I thought, oh, this is why we never moved forward. He was just getting information from me and having somebody else do the crowdfunding. So I was like, oh, okay, well, people kind of do that all the time, right? No biggie, happens all the time. They think they have enough information. They go crowdfund. It was pulling in some money, but it wasn't successful. He's a big name person. Criminal background, drugs, that's my guess. Well, no. Who wants to be the daughter that has a shady past? Yeah, I don't know anything about his kids, so I can't say anything about what's happening with the daughter. But so this guy had some chick that was crowdfunding for him. He had about $4,000 or $5,000 in there. It wasn't super successful. He's a big name. It could have been more successful. He thought it should be more successful. So I just let it go. I was like, okay, they were just using me for information. I thought I had some big star interested in working with me. My bad, let me move on. Thank you, Lee, for following me. So he called again because he had my mobile phone. He called again and he says, he's interested. And I said, well, look, you already have somebody crowdfunding for you, so I don't really know what the deal is. And he tried to act like he didn't know anything about it. So I said, well, then if you don't know anything about it, then why don't you call the police, because this is fraud. If somebody is on some website, if you guys see somebody crowdfunding for Dr. Wright, I'm a crowdfunding expert. I'm one of the top 100 crowdfunding experts in the nation. You need to call me up and go, there's somebody crowdfunding saying you broke your leg and you crowdfunding, and you need to alert people. She's an expert. She's probably not, she can crowdfund for herself. She probably don't need somebody else to crowdfund. So he tried to act like he didn't know about it. And I said, well, then you need to call the police, because that money that person is collecting in your name is going to go in their pocket and they're defrauding the public. But he wasn't worried about that. Now, isn't that interesting? You're not worried about that. April, if you looked up and somebody was on GoFundMe saying they are crowdfunding for April Lady, they had your picture, they had all your information up there, and it was $50,000 up there, you going to tell me that you're just going to say, oh, I'm not worried about that? You're just going to let them take that money and move right on? I just thought that was highly strange that they literally had somebody using their name raising money, but they were not worried about it. So I said, so you're not worried about it? You just, well, I want to talk about I want to get this project moving. I said, okay, I don't understand why you don't want to deal with this other thing, but, I said, it's going to be hard to get your project moving when this other one is going on. Well, we'll take care of that. We'll take care of that. Okay. So then he says, well, I want to do the project, but you need to send your credentials to, I said, hold up. You called me. You've been talking to me for a year. Now you want to see my credentials. I said, I don't know what game you're playing here, but you could have asked for my credentials 10 months ago. You're not going to ask for my credentials now. Well, I need to have 5 referrals. I said, no, you don't. I said, I don't know what game this is. I really don't. I don't play games like this. I said, you literally got somebody crowdfunding for you right now. Go play with her. And I hung up on him. Very famous person. And, I don't know whatever happened to him, but I haven't heard much from him. I haven't heard much from him publicly because he has some health issues. And that's one of the reasons why he wanted to crowdfund, because he had some health issues. And so I'm, it's very, very difficult to try to do business and just be like, this is what we're doing. And people are just kind of like, I think hustlers look at crowdfunding like a hustle. Because maybe it looks like a hustle to them. So they think it's a hustle. Thank you for following 905. They think it's a hustle, so they treat it like it's a hustle. And I'm like, yeah, it's not a hustle. It's a business finance move that people make. People make this move all the time, Wendy. Thank you for following me, Wendy. People make this move all the time. It's a financial move. It's a funding move. Just like getting a loan, just like getting a grant, just like getting investors, that crowdfunding is a legit move. So I think that people that are hustlers think crowdfunding is a hustle. You can be defrauded in crowdfunding like you can be defrauded in a loan. If you get a loan and don't pay it back, you have defrauded people. If you get an investment and don't make good on it, you have defrauded people. If you get grant money and don't do what you're supposed to do, you have defrauded people. It's no different in crowdfunding. But I was just, disappointed to see what was going on and see his name attached to it. And, hopefully somebody, like you said, somebody will get attention. But I just was wondering if you guys had seen it and, were aware of it. And please, make some comments because I want people to be aware before. Hi, Danny. Hi, Apple user. I want people to be aware, before they give money. I want people to give money and be like, oh my God, I just found out that it's a bunch of hustlers. I don't want people to find out it's a hustle after they gave. I want them to know. 2, it's not 3, it's not 4. Is it 5 or is it 6? It's just 5 o'clock. The sun finally came out. Y'all, we do have some sunshine, but it is just now coming out. I kid you not. It has been gray all day. So anyway, as I'm getting the new community center together, how many of you guys have podcasts and have your own show? Because that's who I want to come to the community. You have your own podcast, you have your own show, you're doing things with media. Maybe you have a show on, you're doing a show. See, I'm coming outside to the sun because I need some sun. Maybe you're doing, you have your own show, you have, maybe you have a, I don't know. What are you doing? There we go. If you have your own show, I want you guys to come. And if you guys have your own show, do you guys need people to interview? Because I can help you get people to interview. So anyway, I hope you guys will come to that community and check it out. I'll probably have a separate community for just crowdfunding. It'll be business, but this one will be media. My lawn looks so nice. It's so nice. My little bird bath got water in it. No birds in it, but it got water in it. It's nice to sit out here for a little bit. This guy's dog looks like the wolves that be, or coyotes that be running around our neighborhood now. Whew. Gotta get that vitamin D. So if you guys are doing shows, you guys are doing that, the portal is coming together. It's for all the people who have shows or doing shows. Y'all trying to figure it all out. Let's do that. Anybody on here have a show? Anybody? Joseph, do you have a show? User, do you have a show? A podcast? No? Okay. I'm going to be putting together a class. I have a method that'll help you put money in your pocket today. We're going to go through the class. I'm going to teach you the strategy, and then we're all going to do it in a class. We're going to be quiet. We're going to watch each person do it so they can practice what I taught them and make a phone call. And, but you got to have a show to be in this class. So now your show doesn't have to have started, but you have to have everything else prepped and ready to go. You may not have any episodes up yet, but we can still do the technique even if you don't. So when I open that class up and I take applications, you will have to put in like what the name of your show is, the podcast is on YouTube, where you're headed and what you're doing. All right, well, I'm just going to sit out here and enjoy my Zen. If anybody else has any questions, let me know. Before you give to some crowdfunding, check it out first, okay? Don't get ripped off. All right, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's fly.